Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is The Last of Us Season 1. Pedro Pascal is Joel, whose normal life with his daughter Sarah is rudely interrupted by the zombie apocalypse. Things go bad real quick. A zombie's about to get him when they're saved by the army, but the army's not taking chances, they're shooting anyone. And Joel's daughter Sarah dies in his arms. Now, 20 years later, civilization has fully collapsed. Joel's living in the Boston quarantine zone where life is, not great. He's become a smuggler to make extra money, and right now his goal is to get a car to get out of here. But Tess, Joel's partner slash sort of girlfriend, tells him there's a problem. The guy they were going to buy a battery from sold it to someone else. Now meet Ellie, a precocious teenager with a real foul mouth being held hostage by the Fireflies, a revolutionary group fighting against Fedra, the remains of the military, who are technically a military dictatorship. They also want a car to get Ellie out of town. In fact, they're the ones who bought Joel's battery, but the deal went bad and the battery was a dud anyway, so it's like, hey Joel, we'll pay you to get Ellie out of here. So Joel, Tess, and Ellie leave the quarantine zone, and post-apocalyptic Boston is beautiful in its own way, except of course it is infested with zombies. But they're not your usual undead zombies. This show's cool because they're made by a fungus, the cordyceps that gets in your brain and takes you over. So instead of walking corpses, this show has mushroom zombies, which are arguably even grosser. They run into an advanced version, a clicker, because the mushrooms have covered their eyes, made them blind, but they click to find you with echolocation, and oh, it's coming at you. These things are really hard to kill. And we find out what makes Ellie so special is that she was bit, but has not turned. She's immune somehow, and the Fireflies are hoping she's the key to a cure. But unfortunately, at the Firefly outpost, everyone's dead, and more bad news, Tess was bit. So as a horde of zombies are coming for them, Tess stays behind, and oh no, it's the gross mushroom zombie kiss. But Tess with the lighter and the gas, boom, sacrifices herself so Joel and Ellie get out of there. So the new plan is take Ellie to where Joel wanted to go in the first place, to find his brother Tommy in Wyoming. They stop to get supplies at Bill and Frank's place. Bill was a doomsday prepper type who turned this town into a nice little compound. One day, Bill met Frank, and it's an incredible standalone episode, a beautiful apocalypse love story with a real tearjerker ending as they died in each other's arms. But as for their contribution to the story, Joel and Ellie get their truck. So Joel and Ellie are on a road trip, and at first Joel's a real grumpy pants. He's like, hey kid, you're just cargo. But Ellie's youthful enthusiasm starts to melt his icy cold heart. She finds a book of bad puns, reads them all the time, and Joel starts to like this kid. But they run into trouble in Kansas City, get ambushed by raiders. One's got Joel, and Ellie's got to shoot him. So now the whole city's hunting for him. But these aren't normal raiders. These are a revolutionary group that just overthrew their really bad Fedra. But their revolution is getting out of hand. They're also hunting down this nice guy Henry and his younger brother Sam. They team up with Joel and Ellie to sneak out of the city, but on the way out they're pinned down by a sniper. Joel takes him out, but not before he called in reinforcements. Now everyone's here. Henry's gonna give himself up to save the kids, but wait, what's this? In any zombie story, the real monsters are the humans, but don't forget there's also zombies. A huge colony was underground here, including this absolutely massive zombie covered in hard mushroom scales, a bloater. It's an intense scene as our gang runs out of there. They're almost caught at the end, but saved by, a little kid clicker. And tragically, the newly independent Kansas City is overrun. And more bad news, Sam was bit. Oh no! Ellie tries to save him with her magic blood. Of course, it doesn't work that way, and he attacks. Henry reacts and shoots his zombie brother, but he can't handle that. And this whole show is real dark sometimes. But life moves on, and Mando and Baby Yoda continue their journey. And now after a few months of traveling together, Joel's still a grumpy pants, but he really loves this kid. They finally make it to the successful survivors community where Joel's reunited with his brother Tommy. But it's like, hey bro, I can't stay right now. I gotta get this kid to the Fireflies to save the world. And there's a lot of emotion, like Joel's worried he can't protect Ellie, and Tommy's gonna be a father. But for his contribution to the main story, Joel and Ellie get his horse. They go to a college in Colorado where the Fireflies had a science lab. Unfortunately, it's abandoned. Looks like everyone went to Salt Lake City. But just now some raiders show up and Joel's gotta kill this guy so they can escape. But unfortunately, Joel was injured real bad. Joel's like, hey girl, just leave me, but Ellie's not gonna do that. She's not gonna lose another person she loves. We see her backstory at the Fedra Academy, but her best friend was leaving to join the Fireflies. They had a magic last night at the abandoned mall where they both admitted they like each other. But then a zombie got in and they both got bit, and it was tragic as Ellie had to kill her zombie friend and then learn she was immune. So now Ellie's out hunting when she runs into two guys, and they seem nice at first, but they're with the group that attacked the hospital that Joel killed him. They come out in force to finish Joel off. Luckily, Joel's healed up enough, he gets the jump on this guy, and as he's interrogating them, goes into beast mode. Where's Ellie? This guy tells him, but Joel kills him anyway. The other dude's like, yo, he was telling the truth. Joel's like, yeah, I believe him, and kills this guy too. No mercy. So Ellie's a prisoner, but the leader here, David's being nice to her, really wants her to join their group. It's like, hey man, why do you care so much about me? And it's like, oh, cause he's a pedophile. Ellie's not having that. She'd rather die fighting. And turns out this guy's leading a cannibal cult. It's like, all right, plan B, we eat you. Ellie gives him pause when she reveals she's infected. And while they're considering, she busts out of there. She ends up trapped in the burning steakhouse, and it's a deadly game of hide and seek. But finally, Ellie gets the jump on him, and she makes absolutely certain this guy's all the way dead. When Joel catches up to her, she's pretty scarred. He's like, don't worry, you're safe now, baby girl. And as far as he's concerned, Ellie's his real daughter. As they make the final journey to Salt Lake City, they come across something really cool, a giraffe just hanging out eating leaves. It's a magical post-apocalyptic moment to remind us that life goes on and even in the darkness there's light. Joel opens up about how after his daughter's death he tried to kill himself, and Ellie's like, wow, I guess time heals all wounds, but he's like, it wasn't time. Oh, these two have saved each other, it's so sweet. But enough sappiness, they're back to bad puns until, they're caught by the Firefly Patrol. Joel's like, hey, what happened? Where's Ellie? And Marlene's like, well, I got good news and bad news. Turns out Ellie's mom was infected right when she gave birth, and so it seems like the cure is actually gonna work. Okay, that's great. What's the bad news? Bad news is making the cure from Ellie will kill her. For Joel, that is absolutely unacceptable, but it's like, hey, I'm sorry, there's no other way. But the only thing Joel cares about is protecting Ellie, so he turns on the Fireflies, breaks free. He's gonna do whatever it takes to save Ellie, which unfortunately in this case means shooting up a hospital full of arguably good guys trying to save the world. And this is not an epic action scene as Joel goes into beast mode to save Ellie's life. It's a kind of disturbing scene as Joel has shut off all emotion and ruthlessly murders everyone in the building. He's in time to stop the surgery and kills the doctor, gets Ellie out of there. And it is a conflicted, complex moral situation. Joel's drive to protect Ellie has been the good thing this whole show, but this is maybe not what's best for Ellie, and Joel's just doomed the world out of his own selfish love. Marlene tells him that, like, you're not really saving her, the world's still an apocalyptic hellscape, but for Joel, it's not even a dilemma. He's gonna save Ellie no matter what, and kills Marlene too. So as Ellie wakes up, Joel lies to her, tells her the cure wasn't gonna work anyway, then raiders came and killed all the Fireflies, so this whole journey was for nothing. They make their way back to Tommy's town to live out a reasonably happy, normal, post-apocalyptic life. But Ellie's a smart kid, and Joel's story kinda had some holes in it. She's like, Joel, was that really how it went down? And Joel is not gonna let Ellie feel guilty for his sins. He's like, yes, it was. And Ellie maybe kinda knows that he's lying to her, but she says, okay, and that's where The Last of Us Season 1 comes to an end. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.